Ooh, it has color.
Clown car too. Hey everybody, Kyle here with Spicer Designs. Oh, shit. Welcome back to the channel. Well, today we are going to be working on my wife's 2015 Jeep Wrangler. I have something very cool in this box right here, which I'm going to reveal in just a minute. Now, I wasn't even planning on making a video on this topic here today, but I figured there's probably a lot of people out there that are struggling with the same decision that my wife and I had to make, and that is, do we buy a new vehicle or do we just put a little bit of money into the vehicle that we have now to give it some of those newer modern features that we were looking for in a newer vehicle? Now, the Jeep Wrangler is a very popular vehicle. You see them all over the road, and of course you are expected to wave to all of them, which I'm not a huge fan of. I probably get flicked off more than I get waved to, but I really don't give a shit. Now, these Jeep Wranglers are pretty cool vehicles. They are somewhat stripped down. The newer ones are getting a lot more technology on them, but this is a 2015. We did buy it brand new in 2015. And it currently has about 45,000 miles on it. So it's got fairly low mileage. We've taken very good care of it. This is the Keystone Girl's primary vehicle. This is what she's hauling the kids around in. I will say it is not the greatest family vehicle. It's fairly cramped inside the cab. But overall, it has been a great vehicle for us, and the Keystone Girl still loves this thing to this day. But the point of the video is not to give you the history of our Jeep. It is to talk to you about some of the upgrades that we have done to it and that we're doing to it in order to give it that new car feel again for my wife. So up to this point, what I've done to this thing to give it that new car feel again, I gave it a really good wash using some of the Adams Polishes products. I clay barred the entire Jeep, which it definitely needed. I did a light cut and polish on it using this 3D1. This is a hybrid compound polish. I'm not a professional detailer by any means, but if you do want to do a cut and polish, which will get all of those light swirls out of the paint, I do recommend this compound. It's pretty safe to use. You don't have to worry about taking off too much of your clear coat. It's pretty safe. I will have links for both the polisher and the compound in the description. Now, I do still have to do a final wash and polish on this thing once we get done making the modifications that we're going to make today. I will also seal the paint using the Adams Polishes H2O Garden Gloss. This stuff is amazing. It lasts like up to 6 months. It's supposed to be better than wax. So one other great upgrade that I made on this thing was installing these new hood latches. I will leave a link for these in the description. There's all kinds of different variations. I don't necessarily know if these are the best one. They had good Amazon reviews, but these are a solid hood latch, very similar to the ones that they're installing on the new Wranglers. The old hood latch has actually like a piece of rubber in between here. You can see it's flexible, and these things suck. When you're driving down the road into the wind, you're going 70 miles an hour, you can literally see your hood bouncing up and down probably a good 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. And it's kind of scary because it seems like at any moment your hood can come flying off of the vehicle. So I'm very, very excited to have these gone and the new ones installed. Now, other than that, I installed some fresh new windshield wipers, topped off the wiper fluid. I did a full oil change on it. I installed a K&N air filter. It was due to be replaced. And I gave the engine bay a real nice cleaning. It looks like brand new again. So when I'm done today, this thing is going to feel like a brand new car. So enough of all that. Let's see what the hell's in this box. It's a quality box right there. Here it is. We have a new head unit for the Jeep because the old one sucks a big one. Now, this was a big struggle. I did a lot of research on what was the best unit for the Jeep Wrangler. The market is flooded with absolute crap on the internet, and there are a couple of decent ones. There is the Height Stinger. That seemed like a good option, but the screen was just gigantic and it looked like it did not belong on that dash. That one was a 10-inch screen, and I found this one. This is the Alpine. It is a 9-inch screen, and it looks like it is literally factory, like it came this way right from the dealer. Might be hard to tell in the camera, but you can see on the box, it shows the head unit and the dash all soaking wet with water because this thing is designed to get rained on. Obviously Jeeps, you have the top off and you could possibly get some rain. This thing is designed for it where a lot of the other ones were not. So this is the i209-WRA. There are a couple other different models that look exactly like this that have some more features. This was more of the stripped down one. It was a little bit cheaper, but it was still stupid expensive. I don't even want to tell you what it was. If you want to know, I will leave a link in the description for this unit. You can click on that and you can know exactly how sick I am right now. But like I said at the beginning, we're either going to be buying a new vehicle where we would be spending a lot more money, or we do an upgrade like this, gives it all the modern features, and we don't have to spend as much money. So in my opinion, I think we made the right decision. This is going to be a great addition to the Jeep. Well, I think I've done way too much talking. Let's dig into this project. This is not going to be a full installation video. That would be kind of boring, even more boring than all my talking. There is a really good installation video from Alpine that I will be leaving a link for in the description if you do decide to buy this head unit. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to yank off these T-tops so we can get some light in there and actually be able to see what the hell we're doing. All right, how the hell do we do this? 1, 2. Yeah. All right, the tops are off. Let's go ahead and get this overpriced head unit out of the box here. And another thing I want to mention, if someone is looking to install a new head unit in their Jeep Wrangler, we do have the factory Alpine system in the Jeep. It has the factory subwoofer, the full Alpine system. Now this thing does not even have Bluetooth, no backup camera, no GPS, no nothing. Where the new one is going to have the backup camera, GPS, microphone, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all of the features that a new vehicle would. And this is a plug-and-play system. The factory subwoofer is still going to work. All of the steering controls are still going to work. So it's really, in my opinion, the perfect fit for the Jeep Wrangler, especially if you already have the factory Alpine system. Anyway, read before installation. Stupid. Harness kit for selected Jeeps. Made in China, of course. I'm guessing this is the head unit. Made in Thailand. Looks like they're really reaching out. And the installation kit, also made in China, but it's all sold in the USA for a very hefty markup. And no, there is no affiliation with Alpine. We bought this stereo. Had to donate a lot of blood, plasma, even a little bone marrow just to be able to afford this thing, but we got it. All for the Keystone Girl. Damn it, I don't have my fucking knife on me. I hate when I forget that fucking thing. Oh, blade's out. Oops. Is there there's nothing in this box. Fucking stupid. That was a disappointment. Could actually use that to ship something. It's a nice box. Put that in the box pile. Now I'm not gonna bore you with putting this head unit together. It's just going to magically be put together. Here's all the wires and crap. We've got some brackets. Yep, that is our that's our screen. Whatever. What else is in here? Just barricaded the bathroom door shut. Hope I don't have to take a dump. This looks like the brains of the operation right here. Wish I had some of them. What the f is this? The new dash bezel. We actually are going to be cutting the dash in half so that this larger bezel with the larger screen will fit in there. So that'll be a little scary. It's not my car, so I don't care. I mean, I paid for it, but. And some more, holy shit. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing assembled off camera so that it's ready to go into the Jeep. All right, we got this head unit somewhat put together here. You can see there's kind of a rat's nest of wiring. Everything is labeled pretty well on what connects where, and honestly, a lot of those connectors, they only fit in one spot anyway. So the next step is going to be flashing this Maestro module. Basically what you do with this is you have to hook it up to your computer, you go online to a certain website, and you have to enter the serial number on your head unit. You also have to enter the configuration on your steering wheel controls, and all the information on your Jeep, and then it will flash this Maestro module, which will basically make it interconnect seamlessly with your vehicle. We also have to run the GPS, the USB for the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, the OBD2 connector. This head unit will actually pick up all of your gauges and all the readouts that your vehicle outputs. And then we have to run the microphone for the Bluetooth audio. So I'm gonna get this thing flashed, and then we can start ripping apart the interior of the Jeep. First thing, disconnect negative battery terminal. Tuck it away. Another thing I like to do is to date when I replace the air filter and when I replace the battery, which, by the way, this is a brand new battery as well. It's finally time to rip the dash apart. There we go. Pull out your window buttons. Now we're gonna pull out the old piece of stereo. Next step is to cut out this little support brace right here. I'm just going to use a coping saw. In the video, it shows I'm using a full-on Sawzall. I just don't think that's really necessary for plastic. I think that worked pretty well. Now, before we get too crazy installing the new head unit, we do have to install the microphone for the Bluetooth, which is going to get installed right up here by the rear view mirror, and then it's going to route across the top, down this pillar, through the dash, into the back of the unit. And then we're gonna have our GPS. Now the GPS, we have to mount this little metal bracket right here, just above the gauge cluster, and the GPS is going to stick to the top of that, and then route through the dash. And our OBD2 connector, that's going to plug into the OBD port, and then route that up through the dash as well, into the back of the unit. And then the even bigger task is going to be installing the rear camera. We have to route that thing all the way across the whole vehicle, out through that tailgate, take down the spare tire. It's gonna be a little bit of a project. All right, so we're on the back of the Jeep now. This is our second attempt at getting the rear camera installed. I had purchased a rear camera a while back, probably a year ago. I wanna say it was somewhere around $75, and it was set up for a Jeep Wrangler, but it turns out that this particular camera is not gonna work with the style wheel that we have mounted here for our spare tire. This camera is stationary. It cannot articulate at all, so the way it lays out on our wheel spokes, it doesn't actually fit in between the spokes. We need something that kind of angles over to the side. So I ended up having to order a different camera. So since we have the Alpine system, I found an Alpine rear camera that is designed to work with the Alpine Freestyle series of head units. And this is the HCE-RCAM-WRA. Now this rear camera was a little bit more expensive. I want to say it was like $230, but it is plug and play with the head unit, and it articulates, and it's just a better quality camera. You see a lot of junk out there, a lot of knockoffs. This isn't going to be a step-by-step installation on this rear camera. I'm just going to kind of give you the basic idea of what it's going to take to install this thing. We're going to get this spare tire removed. We'll get the new camera mounted and get it all set up exactly where it needs to be so it can poke through one of these spokes. And just to be clear, the way we're gonna route this cable from the rear of the Jeep to the head unit is the way they recommend to do it in the instructions. All right, we got all of those cables ran through the dash. So we are now going to modify our dash so that it can accept the new bezel. You can see here on the old bezel, this section right here where the double DIN style stereo mounts, we're going to be cutting this whole section off so it can be replaced by this. First, we have to remove these vents, which are pretty easy. I think. Yeah, they are easy. There's just a little tab that you pull out and you spin them and they pop right out. And I think that that coping saw worked out really well inside the cab, so I'm gonna try using this again. Gives me a little bit more control, and it's got nice fine teeth on it. Basically gonna cut right along this line right here. All right, here it is. I got it cut. That coping saw actually worked pretty well. Then I used the die grinder to smooth it out. But from what they say, this cut really doesn't have to be that perfect. So let's go pop this thing back in the Jeep, see how it fits, and then we could finally start connecting the new head unit. We got the wife out here, AKA the Keystone Girl. And yes, she did bring Keystones.
As always.
Thank you.
No, that one's mine.
I brought me one. Now she has not seen the new upgrades to her Jeep yet, so we're gonna go ahead and let her take a look at them. I'll kind of walk her through what I've done here and we'll see what she thinks. All right, so the first thing we did, I put some new, better hood latches on here so the hood's not flopping around when you're going 90, 95 to the grocery store.
Yeah.
To get me my Keystone. Got some fresh new wipers on here. So I've completely detailed the engine bay. Got a brand new K&N air filter for more power. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You got a brand new battery, which we just put that in recently. Fresh oil change, topped off all your fluids.
Let me stop you right there. I just want to see my new stereo.
Okay.
That's all I care about.
You could change your own oil. Go ahead and hop in the Jeep and check out your new
Oh boy.
head unit.
Whoa. That's pretty badass.
Like it?
I do.
Well, the only problem is it doesn't work.
Ooh, it has color.
No one cares about your stereo right now.
Kyle's iPhone? No.
So do you like all the new upgrades? Does it feel like a new car again?
It even smells like a new car.
Yeah, it smelled like shit before.
I bet.
All right, that is gonna wrap it up for today's video. I know it wasn't the most entertaining. I wanted to share this information with you in case maybe you have a Jeep Wrangler. These are very popular vehicles and you're struggling to decide what kind of stereo you want to upgrade yours to. Now by adding this new head unit, it added a lot of modern features to the vehicle, which are going to be very nice for my wife to have, especially when she's driving the kids around. I will leave links for everything I had here in the video today in the description below. Just make sure you're sitting down when you look at the price of that Alpine stereo. It is pretty salty. Anyways, if you like this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this and some other variety that we have on the channel, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. I did come up with an idea when I was taking a dump.
You have plenty of time,
for how I want to reconfigure that kind of head unit. Shut up.
She's
like you know what you would say. Hey, get out of there. Damn it. I hate phrasing. Wipe that one more time.